Hello everyone. Hope you all are doing good. In today's video, we will discuss about case taking. Case taking is a vast topic, so we divided it into two videos. In this video, we'll see from Aphorism 83 to 94. Aphorism from 83 to 104 deals with the art of case taking. These aphorisms gives directions for obtaining the necessary information and recording it, so that it reveal the totality of symptoms or the total picture of disease. Now we'll see the Aphorism 83. Case taking means individualizing examination of a case of the disease. Some must have qualities of physicians are: freedom from prejudice. Physician must have sound senses, attention in observing things, fidelity in tracing the picture of disease. Aphorism 84 is nothing but the instructions to the physician. Instructions for investigating the picture of disease is clearly given in this aphorism. The physician should advise the patient and his relatives, or whoever came along with patient, at the beginning of case taking, to speak slowly, so that he can take down the important information they gives. After that, the patient starts telling their problems and complaints that troubling them. And also their relatives and friends will also tell what they have seen and heard the patient complains. The physician should be alert and observe and listen and remarks by his senses. Physician should also check the reports, including lab investigation, what has changed and unusual about him from his normal state of health. The physician should write down every important information heard from the patient and attenders. The physician should maintain silence while patient is speaking, so that the patient don't get interrupted. Interruption breaks the flow of thoughts. They might also forget information. All they would have said at first does not again occur to them in precisely the same manner after that. So, we should not interrupt patient while they talks. We can ask them after they complete telling their problem. Aphorism 85. The physician, while recording the case, must write each and every symptom of the patient on a separate line, one below the other as narrated by the patient or his attenders, so that the physician can fill up each incomplete symptoms later. Aphorism 86. When the patient or his relatives have completed what they have to say, then the physician goes back to each individual symptom to obtain more precise information. For example, location, onset, duration, modalities, personal history, past history, details of previous medication, family history. In Aphorism 87, we'll discuss about do's and don'ts of case taking. The physician gets more precise information, respecting each symptom without ever framing his questions that will put words into the mouth of the patient. Physician should never ask the questions that can be answered in yes or no type, which will induces the patient to affirm or something untrue or half-true. False image of the disease would emerge and lead to unsuitable treatment. Aphorism 88 is getting the complete picture of the patient as a person or personal history in his sickness. The information about the functioning of various physiological functions of the body and mind, like what is the character of his stool? How does he urinate? What about his sleep, feelings, thirst? And what about his taste in mouth? What kind of foods and drinks he likes most? What does he loathe in his foods and drinks? Causation, mental generals, emotions, intellect and memory. Physical generals like thirst, cravings for foods and drinks. General modalities of standing, sitting, motion, lying down, what is the body temperature, touch, pressure, emotions, etc. Sweat, discharges with color, consistency, modalities and concomitants. Menstruation in females. Characteristic particulars like location, sensation, modality, and concomitants. Aphorism 89. After the submission of the history by the patient, we have to ask the patient to explain his sensations, unless he is faking the sickness. It is allowable, and indeed, it is necessary for the physician to ask more precise and specific questions if he still thinks that physician has not gathered all. Let us see the footnote. Hahnemann in this footnote illustrates the areas which require exploration by the physician. Frequency of the bowel movements, exact character of stools. Is there any pain during defecation? Where was the pain and what was its character or type? Was there any vomiting? And what were contents of the vomitus? What was the exact taste in the mouth, like bitter, pus-like, sour, etc.? Was it that way, before or during or long after eating? When was the vomiting more severe during the day? Was there any eructation and what was its taste? Was the urine turbid while passing or was it turbid on standing for some time? What was the color of the urine while passing? Were there any sediments and what was their color? How was the sleep? What is the behavior of the patient? Does he moan, whine, talk or cry during his sleep? Does he snore? Is it during inspiration or expiration? Does he sleep on his back or sides? Which side? Does he cover himself well, or does he not like to cover at all? What is the provable cause to trigger the symptom? What is the effect of sitting, lying, standing and movements? What time of the day or night? Is it only in the morning? Is it only in the evening? Is it only after fasting or is it immediately after the meals? What was the time when he got rigor? Was it a mere, chilly sensation or actual shivering? Did he feel any coldness anywhere and if so in which body part? Was the part actually cold to touch or was it warm to feel? Was the cold sensation associated with shivering or otherwise? Was his face warm without any redness or what? Which part was hot to touch? Did he complain of heat in the part with it being hot to touch at the same time? How long did the chill stage last? In women, note the character of menstruation and other discharges. Aphorism 90. Physical examination of the patient. General examination. Systemic examination of the patient. Orientation in time and space. Appearance and expression. Decubitus and posture. Behavior and actions. Speech. Consciousness. Reflexes. Mood. Skin. Secretions, color, odor. Part affected, organ, systems, sides. Aphorism 91. Past history. The symptoms and feelings of the patient, just after a previous course of medicines, do not give the true picture of the disease. But on the other hand, those symptoms and complaints from which he suffered before taking the medicine, or several days after discontinued them, gives the true original form of the disease. It is always desirable to keep such a patient on placebo before administering the indicated medicine. Work on the present symptoms, as it gives a modified picture of the disease due to the effect of medicines on the disease. Family history. Special attention should be paid to the predisposition, trait, tendencies the patient has brought with him when he was born and also acquired since birth. Aphorism 92. In emergency cases, Hahnemann advises to give homeopathic medicine on the existing symptoms and minimize the damage done by the previous medication. Aphorism 93. If the disease has been caused by some remarkable event, either recently or in the case of a chronic disease, some times ago, the patient or friends or relatives, when questioned privately, will reveal it on his own accord or upon tactful interrogation. Any cause of disgraceful character or act which the patient do not like to confess. Poisoning or attempted suicide. Indulgence in ordinary or unnatural debauchery. Overindulgence in eating of a hurtful character. Infection with venereal disease or itch. Unfortunate love, jealousy, domestic infelicity, worry, grief on account of some family misfortune, injured pride. Nature, superstitious fear. An imperfection in the private parts. Rupture, prolapses and so on. Aphorism 94. while inquiring the state of chronic diseases, the particular circumstances of the patients like occupation, usual mode of living, diet, domestic situation, should also be considered to find out whether there is anything in them that may give rise to or maintain the disease, and if it has to be altered, corrected or modified so that the recovery may be speeded up. Hahnemann adds that in case of females, it is necessary to pay attention to pregnancy, sterility, sexual desire, miscarriages, menstruation, concomitants of menstrual discharges,